Hello everyone, welcome to Unit 6, the geometric system. So we're going to be getting into geometry. So now that we're going to get into geometry, we're going to start off with taking a look at two different problems in geometry. But let's take a look at our vocabulary. We have a lot of vocabulary words because we're, again, getting into this new concept of geometry. And we're going to have a learn. So geometry is an axiom-based system. What does that mean? That we have these things called axioms, and what axioms allow us to do is build a type of mathematics around them. So with these axioms, we have undefined terms, words usually readily understood that are not explained, but we just got to accept them as what they are. Then we have definitions. We have defined terms based off our definitions. We have axioms or postulates, which are statements that is accepted as true without having to actually show that it works. And then we have theorems, which are statements, but these are derived from our axioms and our definitions and our undefined terms. These we can show that they work. So it's kind of like the axioms and our postulates form our base, our support, and from there we build everything else out. So again, we have our undefined terms, we have our definitions, we have our axioms, and then we have our theorems. So let's start off with a problem. So we have a fictional country. In here we have some blue animals that are from the mountain, and we have some red animals that are from the valley. These animals are categorized into mammals, birds, and reptiles. So mammals are covered by hair or fur, birds are covered by feathers, and reptiles are covered by scales. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a table, and we're going to put these animals inside of the table, and then from there we're going to create some statements based off the table. So we have the birthplace of these animals, and the birthplaces are mountains, and valleys. And then we have the different types of animals. So we have mammals, we have birds, and we have reptiles. So we're going to start looking at each of the pictures that we have of the creatures, and then from there we're going to put them where they go. Again, blue is the mountains. So our first three are from the mountains, and then our second three are from the valley. So we got our first one. So they are a mammal dweller. Our second one is a bird dweller from the mountain. And our third one is a reptile. Now let's take a look at our valley creature. So our first valley creature is from the reptile category. Our second valley creature is a mammal. And by default, our third valley creature is a bird. But if you look at it, it looks like a bird. So now we figured out from the mountain creatures, which one they are, mammal, bird, reptile. Same with the valley ones. We're going to write statements based off this. So our first one is a mountain, or is a mammal from the mountains of. And then our second statement is a reptile from the valley of. So we've categorized where each of them goes, and we've also written statements on them from these tables. So let's take a look at example 2. So example 2 is talking about different types of geometry. Synthetic or analytic. So synthetic geometry is kind of like where you're picturing it and trying to figure out what's going on. Analytic geometry is where you have a little more information, you have some kind of a scale that everything's based off of. So this first example right here, this is going to be a synthetic. The second one, we're put inside of the Cartesian plane, so this is going to be analytic. The third one, again, we're put inside the Cartesian plane, so this is going to be analytic. And the fourth one is just kind of floating around out there, so this is going to be synthetic. So we're starting out this idea of geometry. We came up with a table and we were able to identify based off the information that was given. And then we looked at different types of geometry that we're going to be dealing with. So go ahead and write a summary about both of these ideas, the vocabulary that we have for today, and then use this to answer out the questions that you are facing today.